I want to just play again real quick. Baghdad, and this is really the focus, because I think the president is going to spin this Iraqi thing. I don't know how he's going to do it, but here's what we have to make very, very clear. This president let al-Baghdadi go in 2009. We had him in Guantanamo. He said he was not a threat. See if this sounds familiar.
One quick minor thing on this is you keep saying Guantanamo. He was in an Iraqi-held, American-controlled prison in Iraq.
All
so,
right.
Just so.
All right. Well, we had him. We're now offering, how much? $10 million? We're now offering $10 million. I mean, how much would $10 million change a school? We're offering $10 million to get the guy that we had already. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why, the president will say, well, we have to let these guys go. It's the end of the war. Did we do that with Goering? Because I'm pretty sure we executed them. I think when we defeated Germany, we went and we got the bad guys, we put them in prison, and then we had a trial, and it was all open, and everybody could see everything that was happening, and we didn't have a problem with a military tribunal. And we all sat down and went, yeah, he's committed some crimes against humanity. Kill him. And so we did. Can you imagine, after all of the fight that we would have done in World War II, if we would have said, okay, well, we got them all in prison, but the war is over, so let all those Nazis go again.
And for some that they did do that with, they've been beaten up by history for the past 50 years.
Right. So I don't know why we learned this lesson in World War II, and all of a sudden we just have to open up the prison doors. We have to try them. We should try them openly. We should make sure, we didn't have a problem with everybody hearing the Nazi propaganda. Yeah. It's crazy talk. That's what it is. It's crazy talk. So go ahead. Let them talk crazy, and then we kill them. We don't put them back out on the streets. So in 2009, the president, okayed this guy. He's not a big deal. Well, he's now running a $2 billion operation, and he's beheaded and slaughtered 1,700 people on the streets of Iraq just this weekend. Women have to stay in their homes. He's cutting off limbs of people if you steal. So he's got the whole Islamic thing going for him, and it's beautiful and special, especially the way he praises God. But here's what CNN was saying this weekend. Yes,
when we talk about this caliphate, this sort of great land without borders, if you like, that al-Baghdadi wants, and he mentions the Levant. Give us a sense of this caliphate and how it might appeal to many Islamists.
Well, the Caliphate was the political entity set up after
Okay, stop. So they're taking it seriously, this Caliphate. I think if you say it with an English accent, it's probably Caliphate, where Glenn Beck was talking about a caliphate. And, of course, when he was talking about the Caliphate, not the Caliphate, when we were talking about the Caliphate,
totally different thing.
It was a totally different thing.
It is not about freedom. It is not about democracy. It is about an Islamic state.
We're back. That was Glenn Beck last night on his program, warning his audience about an Islamic State takeover. This is, I do not use the term lightly, Looney Tunes.
There was an interesting split among the Glenn Beck types, really with delusional ravings about the Caliphate coming back, and I would say the conservative establishment, which saw this as a fulfillment of Ronald Reagan's democracy dream.
It seemed to me, if I can jump in here, that the show got increasingly weird. It became more religious themed. There was more talk about Jews and Middle East caliphates.
Glenn Beck last night on his program, warning his audience about an Islamic State takeover the world, basically wanted to describe what he calls the worst-case scenario, which he thinks is somewhat imminent, a caliphate that starts in Egypt and spreads to nearby countries.
When he talks about the formation of the caliphate, I think what you're saying, you could correct me, is that he's kind of a nut.
Can you believe? That's what they were saying when you spoke of the caliphate.
Here's the
a few years ago. Now it's all
here's the problem. I said when they were going into Libya and Egypt that's what the intent was. Little did I know that it would have to actually be instituted in Iraq with the help of Iran. I think I did speak about Iran. And then spread to Syria, which is Syria and Iraq. Al-Baghdadi is Syria, Iraq, and now he's going to spread it from there. Let's see, where were we shipping guns to Syria? Oh, yeah, that's right. We were shipping guns to Syria from Libya. So it will spread, it'll hop over and go to Libya, and it will come back around and probably end in Egypt. But it will be a caliphate that will be somehow or another, one of these sides is going to win, Sunni or Shia, but it's going to be an Islamic state in the Middle East. Period. That's what's happening. Meanwhile, as we release people and negotiate for kidnappers, we negotiate with terrorists who are kidnapping people. What happens in Israel? We have 3 teenagers that were kidnapped this weekend. Nobody really even seems to care about that. Done by Hamas. Why should we care about Hamas? Hamas is now the Palestinian Authority, and we are sending them millions of dollars every single year. Palestinian Authority is now Hamas. They have merged, and we are funding Hamas. So we, in effect, your tax dollars went to help fund this great kidnapping of Israeli kids. Oh, and by the way, I think one of them is an American citizen, is he not? Do we care? Do we care that Hamas has just kidnapped an American teenager? No, probably not. Probably not. He's Jewish. He had it coming, right? I mean, you know, those Jews have caused so many problems there in the Middle East. It's certainly not anybody in the Middle East. It's certainly not the good Palestinians that have now partnered with Hamas, a known designated terrorist organization that we have said we will, A, never negotiate with terrorist organizations. We just did. B, we'll never fund them. We're funding them. And we're really good friends with our allies like Israel. Really? Show me where we've been friends.
Don't forget, we also armed them in Syria.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We armed them in Syria, which brings me back to the Caliphate. I can't tell you how things go. I don't know. I didn't even know what the hell a Caliphate was. So could somebody just explain to me how we seem to get this right over and over and over and over again? Can somebody explain? I don't have all the details. I don't know exactly when 2008, when that crash came. Told you when it was Bear Stearns. That's not it. There's something bigger coming. That's not it. Told you. Mocked all the way along. Don't ignore it. Please don't ignore it. This is the beginning. What you are seeing now are birth pangs. This is the beginning.